What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. This morning, yet another guest. Thank you, honey, that we are going to hear from, who went from full-time employee to full-time online entrepreneur. Please, everyone, help me welcome Mike Mefford to the show. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Not much, brother. Where are you calling in from?
I live in the Kansas City metro area, Lee Summit, Missouri, to be exact.
Okay. And you got the old wood wall behind you too, man.
I do.
Was that there before your online business, or is that something that you've recently installed?
Now, that's something new. I'm in the process of remodeling my office right now. This has totally changed everything about me. So,
Nice, man. Well, tell us about that. Give us the nutshell version so we can get to know you here in the first few minutes of the show. How you got here and how you started online.
Yeah, I actually lost my job at the end of January. So I kind of scrambled to find something that I had been following a few people on TikTok like everybody else. And, I decided to jump in and give this a try. And from day one of the challenge, I knew this was what I wanted to do. I did not want to go back to a 9-to-5 job. I like doing this. It was totally out of my realm of comfort. I had never done a TikTok. I'm still in amazement that I'm on this show with you today. And I'd like to thank you for everything you've done for me and my family. So,
hey man, you're welcome, buddy. Well, I didn't even know I did it,
yeah.
So it's good to know. It's one of the benefits of this show for me has been that I get to meet, actual customers and students and some of our affiliates and actually, get to hear how you've used our training, how you've used our system, how your life has evolved, changed. So, I think I get as much out of this as you do, man. So thanks for saying that. And glad you're here. So was this the only training that you had ever taken? Was this the only online business that you had ever tried?
Yep. This is the only thing I've ever tried to do online. So
Holy crap, man. Wow. So
I jumped in at full steam. So I got a very supportive wife behind me, so that helps a lot. So
sure.
yeah.
Sure. Um, so tell me about that beginning process of you clicking a link, watching a sales video, enrolling in the challenge, watching that first day. I mean, what was the things that were said? What did I say? What did you hear that made you say, okay, this is what I want to do? I mean, give us insight into your head, and what was your aha moment? What did you see that made you say this makes sense?
Just what everybody else was saying on TikTok, how wonderful you were, how the support community was a big piece of it for me, because I had no experience. So, I didn't want to jump into this and then not have any support on the back end of it. So, and I've reached out to, lots of people and all of that, but yeah, just everything you said. I mean, this is life-changing. I wanted more time with my family. I was sick of commuting to work and working a 9-to-5. So yeah.
So at the end of the day, I mean, the bottom line is you just didn't want to go back to working for somebody else.
Well,
and
yeah.
You were willing to have an open mind to something that made sense, something that would allow you to work from home, to not have to go back to a full-time position, working somewhere else outside of the house.
Yep.
In the middle of in the middle of 2020 and 2021,
Yep.
we all know what's going on.
Yep.
We have to say it and have Facebook, cancel our live video here because, it is proven if you say certain words, you will get penalized, I guess. So we all know what's going on, right? We don't need to go into those details. We all know what's happening out there in the world, and you want no part of it. You want to build your own economy right at home. Is that pretty much the bottom line?
That is the bottom line right there.
Yeah. So if we cut through all the, excuse my French here, if we cut through all the shit, the bottom line is that we all just want to be at home, have the ability to have unlimited upside, be in control of our time and our money, and do more of what we love versus essentially taking orders, driving to a building that we don't want to be at, taking orders from people that we don't want to take orders from.
Yep. I spent 25 plus years doing IT work. So
yeah. So you were IT work. So you were working as like a contractor, or you were working 25 years at the same company?
I didn't work 25 years at the same company, but I was a system administrator and did data analytics and reporting. So yeah, that's what I have spent my whole life doing. So
understood. So you find this online marketing thing, you go through the challenge, you start taking some training, and what sort of hurdles, either mentally, or what were some of the things that if you look back, you could say, Mike, that could have took me out. Like that was a landmine that or that was that was something that I almost let get the best of me, or could have got the best of me, or that's something that I'm glad I overcame. Like, what were some of the big hurdles and challenges that if you look back in the very beginning of you getting started, you're thankful that you overcame them and you realize they could have took you out?
The first one was the amount of information. The amount of information you provide is unreal. So processing all of that, and only concentrating on the pieces that I needed to at that time. So, and then the big one is I wasn't comfortable on camera. That was not my cup of tea. I did, I don't know, thousands of TikTok videos now, I think. So it's really grown to, yeah.
So you had to decide what information that you wanted to pay attention to, or you had to either look at being overwhelmed as a positive thing because it's better than being underwhelmed, or did you have to be really careful that you didn't get overwhelmed? Or how did you deal with the feeling of overwhelm at the beginning? Because you happen to mention information overload. It's a common thing. Other people feel overwhelmed by other things. How did you deal with your specific flavor of overwhelm, which was potentially going to come from information overload?
I just started from the beginning and broke it into small chunks, and worked through I did the blueprints. So I did each section, and then I would practice that section, and so I didn't try to do everything and then go back and try to implement everything at one time. I did the Facebook section, and then I finished that. Mm-hmm. So I did it in blocks.
When did you go through the blueprints? Was that was this year, of course, right?
Yeah, I did it in I think I did the 15-day challenge in March, and I immediately went into the blueprints after the 2 weeks of that.
Did you find the blueprints, the depth of the blueprints, when you look back at it? Do you sort of would it be fair for you to describe it as kind of the challenge, although valuable, being the shallow end of the pool, the blueprints being the deep end of the pool?
Oh yeah, most definitely. The blueprints are a lot deeper than the 15-day challenge part of it. So,
yeah. Well, that's what I was hoping you were going to say, but I was open to you saying, well, it's all a bunch of shallow shit, Dave, and you're just a big asshole. But thankfully here live on, that's the whole thing with going live, man. I mean, it's one way to get comfortable with the idea of, messing up, of looking like an asshole in front of a bunch of people, whatever. Getting over that real quick is just going live, because, here we are at look at your phones and tell me, does your phone say the same exact thing my phone does? Yes, we are live. Is that, it gets you comfortable being on camera and not worrying about every little thing if you do it enough times. So have you begun to, what is your strategy? Obviously you've done some marketing on TikTok. Are you also going live and doing other things besides just posting videos on TikTok? Give us a little idea of what your strategy looks like, and we'll also post your links so people can check you out.
Yeah, I definitely do I have did TikTok live. I did a couple weeks of it. I didn't see a big benefit in it. I didn't get a whole lot more leads or sales. The biggest change for me here in the last 2 weeks is Tyler, Wild Man Marketer, gave me a kick in the butt and said you need to have one-on-one conversations with people that are reaching out to you. So I have really
Mhm,
started doing that. It is crazy
mhm,
now. I spend 2 to 4 hours a day replying to DMs, TikTok and Instagram comments. So yeah,
mhm.
and I'm getting, my sales rate is through the roof now, and so
Well, golly gee willikers, that's the one thing that a lot of people are sort of unwilling to do who have that sort of expectation of, that quote unquote automated business. They've watched too many, um, too many of those rented Lambo gurus with the push button system sales videos, and they've got this idea that there's going to be some button that they're finally going to find once they pay $37 for a make money on online product on ClickBank or JVZoo or something, and that they're going to discover that push button thing. And the truth is that I haven't found that yet. It's like sort of like the pot at the end of the rainbow. And the more that I can blend, here's been my secret, I think, and it sounds like you're saying the same thing, is blending high touch with high tech.
yeah. Yeah,
You
I
know,
fell into the trap of, hey, click on my link and buy this product from me and opt into my email list. And yeah,
so
not
what
too
are
many
some of your
people.
calls? What are some of your calls to action now? How are you getting people to reach out more so you can have more conversations via DM?
Well, I changed my mindset a little bit a couple weeks ago where now I'm not just posting about, hey, you want to learn how to do affiliate marketing. I'm like, hey, here's this side hustle, or here's these work from home job. And at the
Hmm.
end of them, I always put the call to action is, hey, if you want to learn how I make money online, click the link in my bio. But that's not my main focus of the TikTok at the beginning. It's, if you want to work for Facebook remotely, this is how you can do it.
Hmm.
So that's working pretty well for me here in the last couple of weeks. I've gained 77,000 followers on TikTok in the last 2 weeks. So,
Well, that's pretty kick ass.
and my
So
opt-in rates are crazy. So,
crazy good or crazy bad?
no, crazy good. I'm at like 86% of people who hit my.
Jeez. Matt and I were running some ads and we're at 30% trying to figure out how to get to 60%. Maybe we need to come learn from you.
That's what my ClickFunnels stats are showing me. And then since I started October 3rd, that the opt-ins are like 86%. So,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's awesome, bro. I
yeah.
mean, soak it up and enjoy every minute of 80+% opt-in rate percentages. I mean, the beautiful thing about organic marketing free traffic is that not only is it free, right? But it's warmer, right? Because they've likely seen a video or two or four or five from you before, and and a lot of times if they like something from you, they're going to go and they're going to watch a few more videos on your profile. I mean, think about, folks, how you interact with other people's social medias. Think about how you do that. A lot of times you're going to go over to somebody's profile like, who's this joker? Let me go see if this is the only video on their profile and it's just something, or let me see if this is like a real person and this is their real profile. I think when we talk about authenticity, or at least when I talk about authenticity, I think of it less as I have to be the same person I am with my wife, right? Because I'm a little dialed down. I'm not like super, Mr. Wake Up legendary with my kids and wife. Because they'd be like, okay, use your inside voice, Dad. Like tone it down a little bit. I get all hyped up and excited because I love this in a different way that I love my kids. Now, if I'm hyped up and I'm outside playing with them, then I'm gonna use my outside Wake Up legendary voice and I'm gonna get all fired up. But what being authentic online to me means is that people can find my real estate online, whether it be my daily show or whether it be my TikTok profile, whether it be my Facebook profile, and they can see a consistent pattern of me showing up with a consistent message, delivering consistent value, and it's clear that I'm a real person and that there's a life, there's a human being behind some of these claims. This is not just a video that I threw up that I'm reading from a script that I have no idea what I'm talking about. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. What I'm sharing with you on this video in terms of how online business has changed my life, you can see a track record of that if you go over to my profile and scroll through the history, right? And so I think that we have to remember that people do that. They don't always just, click on our profile and then go right to the bio. No, they scroll. They want to do some research. They want to find out who this joker is. But after they've gone through and watched 4 or 5 videos, if your videos are quality stuff, they're going to be even more convinced and more excited to go click that link in your bio or send you a DM, right, Mike? And say, hey, is this stuff all real that you're talking about?
Yep. You nailed it with the consistency part, though. Yeah, being consistent. You can't show up one day and then take 3 days off and then show up again, because that doesn't show consistency for your audience. So,
yeah. And people really are counting on you to not be consistent. They're counting on you to get distracted and not do the same thing. They're counting on you failing. Okay. This is what I think it's hard for me to say this and make it clear because it's a complex thing. And I think it all happens subconsciously. I don't think people purposefully want you to fail or stop or get distracted. But I think that's what most people do. Is they get excited about something for a short period of time, and then next week they're talking about something else, or they're doing something else, or they've quit. And that's probably how they operate a lot in their lives, because most people are really good at starting things, but not so good at finishing things. So when they see you day after day, or they go over to your TikTok pro and you have 3 months or you have 6 months of videos there, they're like, holy shit, this person does this full time. This is what they do.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Exactly. I mean, yeah, I do this. I post 2 TikToks a day. I use a block scheduling. So, I set certain time every day to work on my content or my email sequence or something like that.
Yeah. Nice, man. What other things have worked that you would like to share with the community that you think would be valuable for them? What other tips, what other strategies that you think would be of value here in the next few minutes? Just because I have a couple of other questions that are not related specifically to your marketing.
Okay. Consistency is the big one. Showing up every day, producing good content that your audience is going to find valuable. The one-on-one conversations. Yeah, you're very rarely you're going to get somebody. You might get them to buy your low ticket offer, but without those one-on-one conversations, I don't think you're going to make many sales on high ticket. So definitely have those one-on-one conversations. I don't know. I think those are my 2 big ones right now that I concentrate on. So just being consistent and, having those conversations with people.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, that's valuable. And I love that you're talking about what's going on currently in your business. I do that too. I talk about kind of what's going on like right now. And, I love to hear that from people as well. You had mentioned that your wife is really supportive, and I just wanted to circle back on that and just ask, how did you present this to her, and how did you get her support? How did you win her support? What was it? Is it a certain history that you have of communication? Is it that you guys had no other options? I mean, how did you go? Most people, when they go to their spouses who have no experience doing an online business or something that's not traditional, they get a lot of pushback. So how did you win over the support of your wife, and what tips would you give to our audience to win over the support of their spouses?
Well, like I said, she's always been supportive of whatever I wanted to do. Some of it, I want to buy a motorcycle. Oh, okay. Well, this was I showed her TikToks from Brian Brewer and stuff like that. She sat down and watched your sales pitch. So we I don't know, we have an open line of communications. I've had a couple of times during this that, maybe this isn't for me. I'm not generating any lead. Well, she's been right there behind me. No, let's give it another month and see what happens, and keep doing your thing. You're getting better at the TikToks. Your content's getting better, So yeah, she's super. Yeah. And we didn't want, we were in a situation that, I needed an income to, bring in some money to help pay the bills. So, that was a little, are we going to make money doing this? I go, yeah, we're going to make some money eventually down the road, but
I've had that conversation, bro. I've had all that, I've been there, done that, man. When I started down this journey, I got involved in network marketing first. And like Herbalife and Amway and those kind of things, and I remember several of the one company that I got involved in, the product was a cell phone, and I paid $850 to join. 500 of it was for the cell phone. I never got the cell phone before the company shut down about 2 weeks after I joined. No. And then another one was a skin lotion company. So I had these purple boxes of skin lotion, under the bed. And this one company was numismatic coins, right? So I was paying $100 a month for these numismatic coins, and I thought it was bullion. I didn't understand the difference between like a bullion coin, which is you're paying for the weight of the gold, whereas a collectible, you're paying for the collectability of it. So these were $100 coins, but they were only really worth like 25 or $30. So anyways, I was in the company for a few months, and I hadn't made any money, and I was struggling one month to pay my rent. And thankfully I had at least enrolled in this numismatic coin company, because I took them down to the pawn shop. and I was able to get some money, right? Some money back to be able to pay my rent. But, God, I look at that for me, I'd asked you what were some of those times to where you looked and you said, maybe that was a time that I overcame something I certainly could have quit. I mean, for me, that was a rock bottom. You know what I mean? And that was before I got started in entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? I was already in entrepreneurship. I was already talking big shit about how I was going to succeed, and I'm going to get rich with this, or I'm going to at least make some money with this. I'm going to go full time. And here I am pawning these numismatic coins to cover a portion of my part of the bills, because this was before we were married, the first year or so or two of our relationship. But yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, both my then girlfriend, now wife, being supportive and in her own way, she ended up buying me a computer, because I was doing offline stuff in these network marketing companies, chasing down friends and family, beating, pounding the doors, pounding the phones, pounding the pavement, dragging people to home and hotel meetings and stuff like that, trying to get them signed up. And, after 2 out of 3 companies shut down and I had to pawn my numismatic coins, I was like, okay, I got to find something else. But I didn't have a computer, dude. And so, she took me to Best Buy, and she bought me a computer for $500 or $600, and I paid it off $50 a month, over the next however long it took me to pay it off, but next year or so. And that was the computer that I worked on. And it was kind of my bread and butter, as a matter of fact. And I encourage all of you to take some pictures. This was back before we all just had cameras on all of our cell phones, and it was just so easy to take a picture of everything. But this is me sitting at that very computer, with, the, uh, it was a Samsung, you can see there. And I had I had it up on a little stand there, so I could, I guess, see better or whatever, and a little keyboard there, detached from the thing. And I had the nicotine patch on there. Not sure if you can see that, but I had the old quit smoking nicotine patch on the right shoulder there. The desk was set up right in the middle of the living room, because there was no home office. That was the home office. And, that was the computer that I had started my, online marketing career with, paying it off on my then girlfriend, now wife's credit card, $50 a month at a time. It was kind of like putting a piece of furniture on like one of those payment plans at, whatever those furniture places are, right? That's kind of how I look back. And I felt nowadays I buy a Mac computer. It's, whenever a new one comes out, and it's no big deal. But I mean, there was a time, man, to where that was the biggest purchase in my life at that moment, was just that computer to be able to work on. And so, yeah, I think it's important, Mike, and everybody listening, to stay close to the beginnings of your story, and to that struggle, and to what that looked like. And I know it's hard to appreciate it at the beginning, because it's tough. It sucks. It's like, this sucks. But you look back on it, and that becomes the greatest story that you have. When you become successful, you get to look back on that. You get to talk about that. You get to show pictures if you have it, those pictures of you working. I've got another funny one, of me. I had finally got enough money, that I felt comfortable enough to buy I guess a Mac, iMac, right? And but I guess for whatever reason, I didn't have a desk or something to set it on. So I set it on this nightstand or whatever. It's like backwards, sitting there in the corner, and I'm just kind of sitting up, hunched over it. That would create massive neck and back pain for me today. You can tell the picture's not very good quality. Who knows what it was taken on, but the point is that those beginnings are part of the most powerful part of your story, and they're what makes the journey enjoyable and real as you grow and kind of move away and move on from those beginnings. So anyways, your story of getting started reminded me of that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So my brother, I appreciate your time. It's been an honor to chat. Thanks for the kind words about our process and our system here. I've had a couple of folks on this week. Actually yesterday and today, who both said that they had never done any other training, never done any other online business before. This was the first one, and they're off and running and kicking butt and taking names. So what would you tell somebody who's on that day one, or thinking about getting involved here, and might have some of that skepticism that some of us have at the beginning, based on your experience and what you've got out of this? What would you tell maybe yourself if you were sitting there at that day one again? What would you say to yourself?
Stick with it. Don't bail out on day 3, and don't think it's going to get too hard. There's plenty of support out there to help you with whatever problem you may have. You don't have to be a tech whiz or anything to do this. I mean, there's lots of help out there, YouTube videos to help you along the way. Just be consistent. Finish the 15-day challenge. I have lots of people who don't finish the 15-day challenge, so I reach out to them and try to get them motivated to start it again and stuff like that. But keep grinding.
Yeah, stick with it. It's amazing how many people will even buy something online and then not even log into it. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Folks, that is the norm, just so you understand. We've had a lot of our affiliates who have said, wow, people are going through the challenge, and it's like, well, you're clearly new, man. You don't know the behaviors of human beings, especially online. This is the norm, that people buy something and don't use it. It's like buying a gym membership and not going. I've never done that before. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I've, for most of my adult life, had a gym membership and didn't go to the gym on a regular basis that I had a membership. There's probably been times that I've had multiple memberships, because we buy stuff, in the heat of the moment, impulsive decisions, we have a moment of motivation or inspiration, and we're am I the only one who's just at sometimes in my life has been great at starting something and just bad at finishing? I can't be the only one. Through my decade of doing this, it's been unbelievable, Mike. I'm saying that I'm obviously being sarcastic. Unbelievable how many people will buy something and either not even log in and not even start, or buy something and not go through it. And for me, I always like to see the silver lining in that. And for me, what that shows me and that tells me is that there's not that much competition. Most people are lazy. Most people are distractible. Most people, even if they can outsmart me, outwit me, they can't outlast me, right? It's like a game of Survivor in a sense. If you don't have, which I've not over the years, had the technical skills, had the grammar, the spelling, a lot of these skills that keep a lot of us from being embarrassed. I used to write emails out to my list and they'd send them back saying, this is the worst thing I've ever read. Never email me again, because the grammar was horrible and I was just a bad writer. But I've outlasted people. And I think when, on your note of consistency, just remember, folks, when times get tough, when you feel like, I don't know if I'm ever going to blow this up and become successful with this, those who are successful are not the smartest. They're not the best dressed. They're not the most likely to succeed. They didn't get that award. And it's not because I certainly didn't get that award any time in school. It's not the people with the highest IQ. It's not even the most charismatic, right? Because even those people are distractible. It's the people who do the deal consistently and stick with it on a daily basis over a period of time. And that's with any business. That's not just this. That's with any business. You roll your hot dog stand up to that corner for long enough, or if you got to change corners, fine. But eventually you're going to find a niche. You're going to find a hot spot. And it's going to blow up. But it's the folks who invest this hot dog stand is going to blow up. I'm going to get rich with this. And they go out there for a week and they don't sell enough hot dogs. And they're like, I know. And they're whatever. Maybe their wife says, whatever. And they listen, or maybe they're just all negative and they get down on themselves, but they quit too soon, Or
they jump to the next shiny object. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So, all right, my brother. Well, listen, have a great day. Tell your wife that we said hello.
I will do that. Thank you very much again, Dave.
Friend. For supporting you. I know how important that is. And please come back and keep us posted on your journey. All right, brother?
I will. Thank you very much.
All right. See you, Mike. All right, my friends, you can follow Mike, as I've put up here a couple of times, at Mike Mefford 6. That's MikeMefford 6 on TikTok. And as I always say, lift a brother up, lift a sister up, leave them a comment, like their stuff. That's how we can support each other in this community, is by showing support, is by sending positive energy, is by collaborating and masterminding and learning from each other. And just, again, it's all about collaboration, not competition. Make a decision. It's almost like, how many times for some of you sitting on the fence do you have to see or hear some of these stories to go all in, to really make a powerful decision? I hope that today will be that day for you. And if it's not, keep coming back. We'll keep talking and keep sharing stories and trying to inspire and bring you hope wherever you're at in your journey. With that being said, get out of here. Have a great Tuesday. Peace.